Welcome to Tarkov Tales. In this series of videos, we're looking at the traders of Tarkov. Who are they, and why are they here? Last week, we looked at Prapor and his trade in buying and selling illegal arms behind the Russian government's back. This time, we take a look at Elvira Kabibulina, otherwise known as the Therapist, who primarily deals in healing and medical items. When we initially meet Elvira, she treats us just like any other mercenary. She asks us for supplies in exchange for medical treatment and the little food that she can spare. She tells us how she and the remains of her team tried to support the civilians remaining behind in shelters who didn't have time to escape the perimeter before the military blockade was enforced. She tells us of her anger at the firefights between the PMCs, where civilians are routinely caught in the crossfire, and it's literally down to her to pick up the pieces and put them back together. She's also concerned for the population in general. She tells us of a poison leaking into the groundwater from broken factory machinery that could potentially poison everyone in the region. After helping her team fix the leak, she asks us to find clean water for the civilians in an effort to survive until the water is safe to drink again. When we find the water, we also learn that we've somehow stepped on another trader, Skier's toes. She says he will not be happy. Therapist has a distaste for Skier and his obsession with making money and deals. We obtain a mysterious chemical for Skier, and if we choose to give it to him, she scolds us for letting such a dangerous substance fall into incompetent hands. She also has a friendly disposition to some of the other traders in Tarkov, and gives us a few errands as a favour to Mechanic and Ragman, who in turn trust us slightly more and allow us access to some better gear. Despite the fact that she prioritises saving lives, even the Therapist is not naive to the harsh reality of life and death in Tarkov. Many times she tells us of her dislike for the scav gangs of the region, telling us that killing in this situation may lead to actually saving lives in the long run. We gladly oblige her and set about scaring the scavs off the area, dressed in decontamination gear, just to make a point. When we've built enough trust with her, the Therapist will tell us of her other motives in Tarkov, beyond saving lives. She tells us that she used to be friendly with many of the terror group employees who either fled to the area or who perished. She says that they were conducting research into immunology and that some of that research may have been trapped within the blockade. She says if we could find it for her, it may be a way out of Tarkov, not only for her, but also the civilians caught in the middle. However, the blockade has been active for years, and it seems like more of a pipe dream than anything else. In any case, we find various documents relating to terror group research, and even some blood samples that she claims are extremely dangerous. Finally, she tells us that her ultimate goal here is to set up a clinic in the region, a place where the sick and injured can get the treatment that they desperately need. To this end, she asks us to find some of the rarest and most expensive items in Tarkov to make this a reality, and that if all else fails, these items will at least sell for a good price. Once we help her out in this task, she rewards us with one of the most highly prized items you can find. Ultimately, while we can see that the Therapist makes some questionable decisions in the tasks that she asks you to carry out, we can see that she's concerned for the helpless and the wounded above all else. She actively tries to help the civilians of Tarkov, even if that means having to deal in the murky world of guns for hire. Throughout her questline, she only ever asks us for things that directly help someone else, although I'm sure the amount of rubles we spend with her isn't frowned upon. If we become a trusted friend of hers, she gives us access to some of the rarest and highly sought after items in all of Tarkov, but as with all things in Tarkov, nothing is given for free, and the price may be steep. Therapist is just one of the many traders in Escape from Tarkov. Who's your favourite trader, and why? Let me know in the comments.